When you look at a high-end wedding album, there is this overwhelming sense of just total serenity. It feels entirely effortless.
Oh, yeah, completely.
You turn the pages, and it's just this flowing cinematic narrative of love, joy, and perfectly styled hair. But behind that flawless final product is a reality that is, quite frankly, shocking.
It really is.
It requires a level of military-grade coordination that you would honestly expect from a special ops mission, not a celebration of romance.
I always call it the swan illusion. Like, above the water, everything is gliding along beautifully, but below the water, it is just furious, calculated paddling.
Yes, exactly.
And the source material we are pulling apart today gives us this incredible look at exactly how furious that paddling really is.
So, welcome to today's deep dive. We managed to get our hands on what is essentially an internal training manual. It's a logistical playbook used by high-end photography teams, and it's titled Second Shooter Logistics for Bridal and Groom Prep Coverage.
Yeah.
Now, you might be sitting there thinking, well, I have no plans to become a wedding photographer. Why should I care?
Which is a fair question.
Right, but stick with us here. Because whether you are currently planning a big event, or you're just fascinated by intense project management, or you love a masterclass in crisis mitigation, there are massive takeaways for you here.
Oh, absolutely.
It's really about how teams manufacture perfection under extreme pressure.
The core concept we're dealing with today fundamentally changes how you view event coverage. It isn't just a matter of saying, let's throw an extra camera at the crowd to get more pictures.
Right, like just having someone else walking around.
Exactly. That completely misunderstands the role of a second shooter. Their actual job is to capture a complete, simultaneous visual narrative.
Okay, let's unpack this grand strategy, because I was reading through this manual, and I couldn't help but compare it to, like, a classic heist movie.
A heist movie. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, because to capture a simultaneous narrative without everything descending into total chaos, you can't just have two people wandering around snapping photos of whatever catches their eye.
No, definitely not.
Think about the mechanics of a heist. You don't have two safecrackers trying to open the exact same door at the exact same time. It's just a complete waste of specialized talent.
That is a surprisingly accurate way to look at it, actually.
Right. Everyone has a highly specific role, a target list, and everyone is operating on a synchronized watch.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the manual is so strict about this division of labor, the lead photographer is essentially stationed with the bride.
Okay.
Their target list is highly artistic and emotion-driven. So we're talking bridal portraits, the intricate detail shots, like the dress styling, the invitation suite, the jewelry.
All the pretty delicate stuff.
Exactly. And then they have to capture those crucial, fleeting family interactions, like the dress reveal or the first look with the parents.
So while the lead is securing those assets in one room, the second shooter is running a completely parallel operation somewhere else.
Yes, they take the groom prep. They are capturing the suit details, the ties, the cufflinks, the groomsmen interacting, the toasts.
But their mission doesn't even stop there, right?
No, it doesn't. They are also tasked with, to use your heist analogy, securing the perimeter.
Right, they have to grab the venue exteriors, the ceremony setup, the cocktail hour details, and all of this before the guests even arrive.
And if you look at the psychology of why this strict division is so vital, the morning of a wedding, the couple is separated. You have two totally different energies happening in two different rooms.
Yeah, and without a second shooter, a photographer basically has to choose which energy to document.
Exactly. They either miss the groom entirely, or they have to manufacture fake getting ready moments later in the day, which, let's be honest, never look authentic.
Oh, never. You can always tell when a groomsman is pretending to tie his shoes for the camera. It's so awkward.
It really is. But by dividing the labor this way, you are honoring both authentic experiences. It builds a timeline that captures the genuine emotions of both preparations simultaneously.
It's like giving the couple the gift of omnipresence. They get to see the things they physically couldn't be present for.
Yes, they get to look back at the album and realize, oh, so that's how you were feeling at the exact moment I was putting on my dress.
But, and this is a big but, a great strategy falls apart the very minute you step out the front door, if you haven't planned for the physical realities of the day.
Right, because you aren't shooting in a vacuum.
Exactly. You are moving around in the real world, and the real world has, traffic jams and flat tires.
This is where the tactical execution comes in. Our source makes it very clear that wedding mornings almost always involve multiple venues. The hotel, the salon, the ceremony space, the reception hall,
It's a lot of moving parts.
a ton. And the transportation logistics become incredibly complex very quickly. You have to confirm travel routes, parking availability at each specific location, exact GPS coordinates.
And the golden rule they highlight in the text is to always add a 15 to 20-minute buffer time to any travel estimate to prevent delays.
Which sounds like common sense.
It does, but when you look at how tight these schedules are, 20 minutes is a lifetime. If you lose 20 minutes because, say, the hotel valet was slow or you couldn't find street parking at the church,
That is the entire window for the groom's portraits gone. It just evaporates.
that buffer is really the shock absorber for the entire day.
Yeah.
And the preparation, it extends deep into the equipment they carry too.
Oh, the gear list. It's intense.
The equipment checklist in this manual is staggering. Both photographers, the lead and the second, need completely independent gear to ensure absolute redundancy.
They need 2 camera bodies each.
Multiple lenses,
Speed lights, which are those high-powered external flashes you see mounted on top of cameras.
LED light panels,
Yeah.
multiple memory cards, portable SSDs, which are those solid-state hard drives, so they can securely dump and back up thousands of massive photo files right there in the field.
Right, and they even list heavy-duty rain protection and multiple power banks. Everything has a backup, and the backup has a backup.
Which kind of makes me wonder. I'm looking at this list of gear, and I'm looking at the list of unexpected situations the manual says they have to prepare for. Things like late hair appointments, sudden weather changes, missing accessories, family emergencies.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, is having all this duplicate gear really about the art of photography? Or is a second shooter actually more of a crisis manager who just happens to be holding a camera?
I mean, that is a phenomenal distinction, and I think at this level of professional event coverage, the 2 roles are entirely inseparable.
Really?
Yeah, the gear redundancy isn't just about taking better photos. It is literally an insurance policy against disaster.
Yeah.
You cannot walk up to a bride and groom during their reception and say, hey, my memory card corrupted or my shutter jammed. Can you guys do your first kiss again?
Oh, wow. The sheer dread of that thought. My stomach dropped just hearing you say it.
It is the ultimate nightmare scenario for a professional. So that crisis management aspect you picked up on, that is what allows photographers to adapt seamlessly.
Right.
Let me give you a quick scenario. Imagine it's 1:00 p.m. The ceremony is at 2:00 p.m. The bride's hair took an extra 45 minutes, so the lead photographer is stuck at the hotel.
Which happens all the time, I imagine.
Constantly. A lesser team would panic. But because of this parallel structure, the second shooter uses their built-in travel buffer to run ahead to the venue.
Oh, I see.
And because they have their own independent speed lights and lenses, they can fully light the church, get the venue shots, and prep the groom. When the bride finally arrives, they don't have to scramble, they just plug and play.
They save the timeline without anyone even realizing it was in danger.
Precisely. And that rain gear you mentioned, it's not just so they can run inside if it sprinkles. It's so they can stand in a downpour, wrap their camera in waterproof housing, and shoot an epic, dramatic portrait of the couple under an umbrella. Or so they can sprint across a wet courtyard to grab a lens without ruining $10,000 worth of electronics.
Wow.
The art of the photography is basically protected by the armor of the logistics.
The armor of the logistics. I love that phrasing.
Yeah.
But, showing up on time with the right armor is really only half the battle.
True.
Here's where it gets really interesting. These 2 photographers are physically separated for hours, shooting in entirely different lighting conditions.
Yeah, which introduces a massive aesthetic challenge.
Exactly. How do you take images from 2 different artists using 2 different sets of gear in 2 different locations and make the final gallery look like it was shot by one single omnipresent artist?
What's fascinating here is this is where the technical preparation really meets the creative execution. Long before the event even begins, the lead and the second shooter must align their technical settings.
We're talking exposure settings, white balance, their editing style, composition preferences, and even their preferred focal lengths.
Yes.
To me, this is like having 2 master chefs cooking in entirely different kitchens on opposite sides of the city, but their dishes have to be served on the exact same cohesive tasting menu.
The tasting menu analogy hits it right on the head.
The flavors, the presentation, the style, it all has to match perfectly. Or the diner is going to notice the jarring shift from one course to the next.
If the technical ingredients don't match, the final product feels completely disjointed.
I get why editing styles need to match, obviously. But you mentioned white balance and focal lengths. I'll be honest, I'm struggling to see why using a different size lens would ruin an album.
Well, it fundamentally